Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video I'm going to show you how I deep clean my own car. I'm going to show you the steps I take, what I do, the products I use, and my car is really filthy. You can see from the intro right now. So the first thing I like to do is pre-wash my wheels. I never go straight on with a brush. Obviously these are a matte type finish, so you could mark them quite easily, and once you mark matte you can't repair it. You have to respray it. There's no way of polishing it out. Also with gloss black wheels I do the same process because I like to try not to mark the wheels. Silver wheels and like your normal alloys you can get away with a straight on product and wash off, but this I like to pre-wash first. So what I do is I've got a TFR which goes in the arch area. So just pump that up and just spray that all in the arch so that can actually work away at the dirt in there. And then in the pump spray I've got the auto foam from Built Amber. So what I do is I spray this on the whole wheel on a tyre, just let it dwell for a little while before I rinse it off. So what I do is I let that dwell for a few minutes just to break down a bit of the dirt, and then I'll pressure washer this off to get rid of as much dirt as I can before I go in with the contact on the wheel. So I'm going to pressure wash that off now, do inside the arches and all that around the wheels. So the aim of the game with this is to try and remove as much dirt on the wheel before you touch it, because obviously, as I was saying, with a matte type finish alloy it's so easy to mark them. So yeah, we've done our pre-wash of the wheels. It's the same process of the paintwork. You pre-wash the paintwork before you touch it. It's the same on the wheels. Definitely recommend doing this stage. So for my contact stage I'm going to be using two products. I've got the Built Amber Auto Wheel and I've got a tyre cleaner. Now a tyre cleaner is not always needed, but because these wheels are quite bad today I'm going to be using a tyre cleaner as well. So I'll just spray the tyre cleaner on and I go in with my Built Amber Auto Wheel and try and get into all the gaps of the wheel so everything's covered. And I'll leave that to dwell for around 5 minutes, and then I'll come back in and I'll be doing my contact clean on the wheels. While that's dwelling for now, I start with the tyres just to give them a nice clean up. And just agitate that product on the tyre, make sure they're clean enough. Obviously you're going to get your tyre dressing on this, so you want it to bond. So the shampoo I'm using in the bucket is the Mild Deep Cleanse shampoo. Now I've got a few different brushes. I've got a bigger brush, I've got a smaller one, and I've got little detailing brushes. Now you're going to need a few different brushes for these wheels. So first of all, if we're going to the actual rim first, we're going to use the biggest brush we have just to agitate the rim inside. So then once you've used the bigger brush, and then I'll go in with the smaller brush just to go into the other area of the alloys. These alloys are really a nightmare to clean, as you can see. So you've got to use a few different tools for the job. But just about getting as much of the dirt you can, and you can see the actual the auto wheel working really well here. You can see it really turning colour, removing all that dirt from the wheel and all that fallout. For the actual faces of the rim I like to use sometimes a hand glove. Pick these up in Halford's, really cheap. I think it's really good. You can get into all the areas of the back of the rims. I prefer the glove over a wash mitt type of one because you can actually get your hands around it into the gaps. It just feels like it does a better clean for me. So these wheels did have a bit of protection on it, which obviously helps with the cleaning, so I recommend putting some kind of protection on your wheels anyway. So the last sort of stage is actually just getting your little detail brush and trying to get into all these areas here. These are the bits that always will leave dirt behind. You can never sort of get them properly. So just going with the detail brush along the brake calipers as well. Just trying to work into all the nooks and crannies. Even these areas here would recommend trying to, you know, get some of the dirt out of there. And just go into all your areas, and then your wheels are clean. So to finish off this area, what I like to do next is just go in with the snow foam again, just into the actual arch of the wheel. This bit always gets missed, so I go in with a second hit of snow foam. So you could use a few different brushes for this. You could use a normal Viking brush that I've got here, which is really good to getting into these areas. Or you could use your rim brush that you've used on the wheel to properly get in there. You know, there's so many tools out there, whatever suits you best. So all we've got to do now is rinse the actual wheel arch and the wheel down, and then that wheel's done, and we'll crack on with the rest of the wheels. And I'll be doing that off camera. Obviously I've shown you one wheel, and I'll crack on with the rest of the wheels, and then we'll get on to the actual pre-wash of the car. So the next stage of the actual wash is the pre-wash stage. Now you can see there's a lot of bugs stuck to the front of the car. There's a lot of obviously mud down the side of the car, as you've seen from the intro. Now I wouldn't recommend going in with a pressure washer first. You want to break down that dirt, soften that dirt. So if you go with a pressure washer, you're likely that you could still mark the paintwork with the dirt that's on the car. Now I'll be using the Built Hamber auto foam again for the pre-wash, which will remove a lot of dirt. And what I've got next to me here is a TFR. Now what I do with this is just the very, very low parts, like right down low here, and also any like the bugs, I'll just put a little bit TFR. Now you may hear that some products, they go against each other if you use them together, but I've always found that this works with the TFR lower parts. Snow foam along the top bit, and then it all removes as much dirt. The aim of the game is to remove as much dirt as possible, and there's a lot of dirt on this car. You know, there's all these little marks here, so this is like rain and dust, dirt, some dirt here. I mean, there's a lot. It's lower down, it's really bad, so we need to soften that dirt first. So we'll let this dwell now for about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how long it takes. The Built Hamber doesn't dwell for too long, but you can see it taking the dirt now off the car. It's dripping off here, you can see loads of dirt on the floor. Just do its job, put it on the alloys as well, just to give it a nice sort of wash, just to make sure we haven't missed any dirt. So let's let that sit, and then we're going to pressure washer it off. So now onto the contact wash stage, and for this stage I'll be using a foam cannon to apply my shampoo, which is the Polo Wash. I spray that onto the car. I use a bucket of water. I use 2 wash mitts, so one for the top half, one for the bottom half. On a black car, I always like to wash as safe as possible because the black car will show as much of the marks and swell marks and all that sort of stuff. So it's about washing the car as safe as possible. So that's why we do a pre-wash. Then we're going to apply the shampoo via the foam cannon and use 2 mitts for this stage. So let's get on and do the contact wash. So yeah, when you're doing your contact wash, always work from the top down to the bottom. So what I do is I do 1 big panel or 2 small panels at a time, and then I'll put my wash mitt back in the bucket to wash it out. That's the sort of process that I follow. Another thing I like about this sort of style of contact wash is that I can see where I've been. The snow foam or the actual shampoo stays on the car, and I can actually see where I've washed and I don't miss any parts. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to wash from this part here, and then I'm going to stop around about here, and I wash the bottom part of it with another wash mitt. Try and go in straight lines, don't try and do this. Try and keep the wash mitt as flat as possible. You don't need a lot of pressure, minimal pressure, and just wash the paintwork, and it just gives a really nice finish with this shampoo I'm using, the Auto Glim Polo Wash. It's a really nice lubricated shampoo that works really well in the foam cannon. So then this is where I get my second wash mitt, and I just do the bottom half of the car, fill the lower panels all the way around. Sure, you get into the area. And then we just finish off with the badge areas. So yeah guys, I had a bit of a nightmare. So as you will see, the car is actually dried. So again, my camera, well, it's my fault this time. I didn't charge it enough and I didn't realise, and as I went to finish off the contact wash with the detail brush, battery just died on me. And as you know, with a black car, you can't just leave it. I had to get it dry, otherwise you get water spots, and the sun's come out now, so sort of had to get it dried. So what I've done off camera, I've dried the car, and I was going to show you a few little techniques that I use for drying the car. So like with the windows and that, I always start with the windows because you can make them look good without window cleaner. So there's no window cleaner on these and they look good. So I always recommend washing your glass first, and then obviously your drying towel's wet, which is really good for the paintwork because you don't want to dry drying towel because you could mark it, and obviously with black cars we know they're the easiest ones to mark. So yeah, start the windows and work your way onto the paintwork. So I've dried all that, used my dryer for my blow dryer for the actual wheels and all the grills and that, so that's all done. So next stage was to add some protection to this car, and I'll be using a new product from the VP UK that I bought from them. I've done a few videos on their products and they've revamped their stuff for now, so like they've got some new like style products out, so definitely go and check them out. So we'll be adding some protection to it. So I always recommend when you add protection is that you obviously decon the car. Now I did this already on this car, it's already been deconned, it's already been clay knit, already been polished, and as you can see the paintwork is in good condition. I've just washed that and it looks like that. Way you could check this is check for any like tar around the car, tar marks, so you may need to use fallout remover. Check the smoothness of the car, check the paintwork, see how smooth it is, and mine is absolutely so smooth to touch, so you know it doesn't need to be clay barred. Don't clay bar and don't use a clay mitt or whatever you're going to use unnecessary. Just use it if you need to, because obviously every time you put something on the paintwork you're likely to have marks and that, and then you have to machine polish it. So I've done that previously off camera on my car. When I first got this car I had to machine polish it all and get it in a good condition, because obviously the dealer didn't put it in a nice condition for me, so it's now in a good condition. The paintwork looks immaculate, to be honest. We're just going to add this protection on. So I'm going to show you the process of putting this protection on the car. So let's get on to adding the VP UK ceramic sealant 1 year protection. As I was saying, I'll be using this ceramic ease from VP UK. Now this is a 1 year ceramic coating that you can do at home yourself, really easy to apply. I've done a few panels already just to try it out before I actually showed you on camera, because I'd rather like to see how it works personally first. Really easy product to use, and we're going to obviously see how the protection works over time and see if it will last a year. So you get it in this nice glass bottle, and it says to apply with an application pad. Doesn't come with one, and I don't want to use my application pads that are quite nice ones, so what I'm using is a cheaper microfiber towel or cloth that I'm going to chuck away after, because after using these products I recommend that you chuck the cloths away. Don't use them again, because the ceramic will go hard, crystallize, and you'll have microfiber cloths that will damage the paintwork. So the way you apply it is just a few squirts on the pad like that, and it's the same as a ceramic coating. You're just going to go in cross-hatch motion. So you start your way up the top, and it's really easy. Just work your way down panel, and you can do one panel at a time with this. It's not like a ceramic coating where you have to do sections. You could do the whole car. I've done a whole panel already and I tried it and it works really well. Go up with it, work your way up. So you do this across the whole car. You can see the product working its way into the paintwork. Yeah, try and get all the areas covered. And then once you've done that, the next stage is to let it sit for around 10 minutes, it says, and then you're going to buff it with another cloth, which is another cloth that you'll be chucking away at the end. So don't use your best cloths for this, use cloths that are just laying around that you don't mind chucking away after. So after about 10 minutes drying, you start to see it sort of haze on the paintwork. Now this is the time to buff off, so you get another cloth, which is using the same style cloth, microfiber cloth. Fold it a few times. Now, I didn't feel like you had to use a lot of pressure, a little bit of pressure, not too much, just a little bit, just to remove the actual product. And as you're doing it, it gives a really nice gloss. It's very slick, very smooth. So it takes a little bit of effort. It's not the easiest product to wipe off. Easy to apply, but not the easiest to wipe off. You have to make some effort. So it's a long process. It's not going to be a quick process. You take your time with this. Make sure all the product is off the car and that it's in a nice finish, like so. And as you can see, looking really good. So that's it. The whole car's been coated with the ceramic sealant. 1 year protection on the car now, and look at that finish. It's really nice. Took a little bit of effort, took a bit of time. Probably take you a good few hours to put the car on the car nicely. Wait 10 minutes per panel and then take it off. You can see, just give a nice finish. So to go with this, you got the ceramic shampoo from VP. So I recommend, if you're going to buy this, buy the whole bundle, because then once you've done your car looking like that, then you can maintain that coating. So every time you're washing your car, you're using the right shampoo for this product, keeping the coating, you know, keeping it at its best, so it will definitely last a year then. So the ceramic shampoo is a really good little thing to go with it, and it will keep the car looking good. Now I do prefer a wax normally, but I really wanted to try a ceramic sealant that's going to last a bit longer, just for making it easier to maintain the car. As it's black, it's a very hard car to maintain colour. So yeah, you want to keep that glossiness from the ceramic sealant. So I thought, let's give it a go and put it on the car and see how it goes for about a year. So that's what it's looking like. So now we've just got to dress the tyres, clean the windows with a bit of glass cleaner. Probably doesn't need too much, but just a little bit going over. And then I'll give you some shots of the car in the sun after. So I'm just going to show you one part of the glass cleaning stage. I'm not going to go through the whole every screen, but I'm going to show you just on this window here. I'm using the Auto B glass cleaner, which I won in a competition, so I'm going to just try these products out for the first time. I've got my Maguire's glass cloth. Now this is a really important stage. The glass cloth does most of the work. You can literally clean the window with just the glass cloth and it will take off any smears. So you need a good cloth for a good job. So that's a crucial stage as well. So what I do is I spray a little bit on the cloth just to get a bit, you know, damp. Spray a minimal amount on the window. You don't need a lot. Just work the product in. do like a bit of a cross hatch motion, a bit like the ceramic coating, up, down, then that way, and just keep going like that. And that's gave a good finish, and that glass cleaner is pretty good. Yeah, it's nice. So yeah, you get like a nice crystal clear finish, no streaks. So definitely the cloth is quite a crucial part of the glass cleaning. So the final stage of how I wash my car is I dress my tyres. Now, I like quite a glossy look sometimes, and it depends on the product. I'm going to be trying out Auto B tyre dressing for the first time, so I don't know what sort of finish this gives. But I was very impressed with the glass cleaner, I must say. It's one of the best glass cleaners I've actually used for a long time. It gives a very good crystal clear finish and no streaks or smears at all, so I'm very impressed with that. So let's actually try this out. Now, it comes in a little bottle like this. Now, you need an applicator pad, probably like this sort of one is really useful. It's quite watery, but we'll see. We'll just put a bit of product. It's obviously very windy out here today. And then we'll just put it onto the tyre. Now, it gives more of a silk finish, I'd say. It's not too glossy. Get into the car, it's quite nice. It gives a very subtle finish. It actually gives that tyre that more natural look. Now, a lot of people like that look. I'm a little bit more a fan of a little bit more glossier look, but this actually is not bad at all, and it goes on really nice. It gives that tyre a very nice natural look, easy to apply. No, it's not bad at all. It's pretty simple like that. Just dress your tyres. Now, what I sometimes do is I reverse the car back a little bit and do underneath. Now, you can get these rim mats, which you would better get, you know, under it. But it's easy enough just to reverse the car back slightly and then just do the underneath. So what I'll do now is I'm going to hit you some shots of the car and how it looks.